They eat ice grease instead of ice cream because they are like humans, but they are not humans. But why would a robot eat grease? You would use grease on your joints to keep from squeaking. Instead of ice cream, they should have made this an icy hot joke or something. Here at the robot barber shop, he just literally saws the top of a robot's head off. So again, the analogy is thin. That's not a haircut. That's permanent. This is an auto body shop, not a barber shop. Robot chicken.
I'm gonna be a dad!
Nothing screams excitement about becoming a father quite like leaping directly into the flow of oncoming traffic. Both of these robots are in the road, and although one clearly should be in the road, they are essentially taking up the same space. Traffic anger robot should just roll around them is all I'm saying. 3.5 kilograms? That's 7.7 pounds. For an entire robot baby and packaging? I'm calling shenanigans. Human babies can weigh around 8 pounds, but not metal babies.
What's that extra piece?
We did want a boy, right? This won't hurt a bit, son.
What in the everlasting Look, I like puns. Puns are fine, but your comedy can't be all puns. Also, they're not even trying here. This may be the worst example of words on pages I have ever seen. The comprehensive Should I go on? Is this helping anyone learn how to raise a fucking baby robot? This is a middle finger to every real human parent ever. So they just keep giving him new parts as he gets older, and that's how he gets bigger? But when they've replaced all the parts with bigger parts, there's none of the original boy left, is there? Also, I will never forgive this movie for making me consider hand-me-down boy parts. Why is the bass drum a sentient robot? None of the other instruments are. Which of these robot parents ordered a baby robot that was shaped like a drum?
Hey, Dad! Who's that?
That, Rodney, is Bigwell.
No, that is a balloon.
He invents things that make everyone's life better.
Oh, just like Kanye West. So he's inventing, and he's invented a robot. His parents just ordered one and it came in a box. It was him, but now the movie's saying there are ways to build sentient robots at home. When you're a child, does inventing in this movie just mean think of a kind of robot that doesn't exist yet that we could all benefit from?
These are your 12-year-old parts.
I swear to God, if they start talking about the copper birds and buzzing bees, I'll skip to the end, add a few million sins, and never look back. Also, there had to be a better way to phrase this parts stuff. What about these are your bits, or these are your pieces? Here's your wind-up. You see what this movie is doing to me? Just to recap a little, the little robot made a smaller robot to help the older robot wash dishes, rather than inventing an industrial dishwasher. Look, it seems you can upgrade your parts if your parents have money, and if they don't, you're stuck being hand-me-down and poor. Which is how Rodney's dad is a dishwasher, because that's the best torso part his own parents could afford for him. And this actually speaks directly to income equality in America and how hard it is for any generation raised in poverty to break free of its hold. Even though I think the movie was just going for a cheap you're poor joke.
I'm never gonna be someone here.
You made a movie about an entire robot society and you went with wants to get out of this small town for a hero's motivation.
I'll make you proud. I know you will.
He says this instead of saying you already have. That's a dad fail right there. They repeatedly called this space transport a train.
I wonder if you could you direct me to Bigwell Industries?
Big cities are bustling and the small town protagonist takes a moment to adjust to the pace cliche. Spontaneous dancing. It's a robot doing the robot. Get it? This movie is to humor what Scary Movie 4 is to Airplane. What are the odds he ends up paired in a travel ball with the guy that tried to take his picture and sell it to him back about, 3 minutes ago? No one will be seated during the Rube Goldberg Bingo Ball flex portion of the movie. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but adjusting your own neck like this is a really bad idea. Marble madness. Jesus, shoe-shining Christ, this is supposed to be a regular mode of transportation. This video game might have seemed cool on paper, but it makes zero sense, you fucking dipshit. And by dipshits, I am referring to the 6 credited writers that wrote this movie. Eat my ass. No worries, we will 100% accidentally bump into his bumper again. I have no doubt. He's voiced by fucking Robin Williams, man.
Can I help you?
This scene, Wizard of Oz, is so hard it makes my ruby slippers get tingly. Instagram weight loss ads. Self-fulfilling prophecies. I don't know, guys. I just don't think this is how magnets work. Rodney survives this. This looks as much like a Guitar Hero background as it does a scene from a movie.
All right, break time. All right, break time's over. Chop, chop.
Well, there's 10 seconds I'll never get back. I guess that was supposed to be funny. Or just prove how cruel this woman is. Either way, I'm sending this horse.
In a couple of weeks, all those broken down losers out there are gonna be nothing but scrap metal.
And after you finish off Bigwell, there will be nobody out there to fix them.
I would call this a villain expositing their plan for the good guy moment, except there are no good guys here. Just us viewers, so kind of even more egregious.
What are you afraid of? Grow some bolts.
Balls. She means balls, but this movie doesn't have the bolts to just admit it's an hour and a half of bad puns. Absolutely none of these conveyor belts are placed in a sensible manner outside of what makes a cool movie shot.
Just keep Me over and pour me out.
Told you this fool was coming back into the picture. I just want to point out that someone decided to stack about 6 barrels of ball bearings on top of each other in a pyramid just for kicks. That robot is obviously an asshole. Look, 10,000 ball bearings on the floor does not make it a f***ing people mover. Both these robots have already fallen 10 times by now if this movie is being real.
He's a head in a basket.
Would you like to take it out and ask it? Right, it's so cool to see all the Crayola crayon colors back together.
You think you can mess with my big brother? You're kind of cute.
Oh, hell.
By the way, the name's Piper. Rhymes with Viper.
She wants his hammered-in robot dick. The brand new model of the robot torso has 6 f***ing cup holders in the abs section, beating off your head in public. F***ing hell, here's another needlessly complicated mode of robot transportation. Jesus Christ, this is some genocidal. What the f*** family movie about robots?
What happened to your friend?
He's been rear-ended.
Along with the entire plot. This movie somehow made $260 million.
Oh man, this is my 3rd oil change today. Something's wrong with me.
So oil changes are now basically poops, and even that is weird, since most humans poop every day and most cars get oil changes every 3 months. Somewhere out there, beneath the robot sky.
I'm real close, listen. No, wait.
Jesus, I'm farting Christ, I can't believe this f***ing
You consider me your friend?
Sure, what else would I consider you?
Fender and Rodney just met, so they are barely out of stranger territory. And honestly, Fender should be considered a con artist and a thief far before being a friend. Kid movie contracts must include inexplicable leaps to friendship.
Hey, kids, get a load of this.
Never try, never fail. Those are the words I live by.
I believe Aaron Burr said that.
Brace yourself. You're about to get very popular.
My friend Jack told me the same thing shortly before I went streaking through the quad, but it turned out he was my enemy, Jack, and I got arrested.
Back off! Back off! He's got his own dreams that won't come true.
Wow, this movie made me laugh. You might think I'd remove a sin, but no. It took 43 minutes for a movie co-starring Robin Williams to make me laugh. That's a sin. 6 writers! They all chant Rodney, Rodney, but that montage showed that everyone pitched in here, including Fender for some reason. Why is Rodney getting all the praise? This movie can't get analogies right at all. Here they're using buffers to stand in for a personal massage, but a buffer isn't massaging anything. It's literally just making shinier. This is the laziest movie since Brown Bunny, and that movie made you watch a car washing and a blowjob in real time.
What about tomorrow when everybody gets the idea this is okay? We can fix ourselves.
Apple. I'll tell you what I would expect in a world of metal robots that need constant mechanical attention. I expect that there would be more than one robot who knows how to assemble parts for repair. This movie asks us to believe that the entire city is rescued because one inventive robot knows how to use tools and piece together parts. That's like asking me to believe that there's only one doctor in a city that knows how to help a body heal after an injury. F*** you, mailbox bot. Get the f*** out of my house. You didn't knock? Jesus.
Rodney, are you really worried about your dad?
I just want to know the alternative answer to this one. No, I'm not worried about my dad dying. I sort of want him to die because he's a reminder of the working class, and clearly I am super above that. I suppose now we pause and consider all the various shocking things that little Tim could display that would cause a grown woman to faint. 1, little Tim is really slim. 2, there's a chicken in his pants. Well, that list is much shorter than I thought it would be. A Ricola jar. That'll definitely stand the test of time. Rodney's invention bot gets drunk because the bartender mistakes it for a mixer, and that's hilarious? Why would alcohol make robots drunk? They f***ing eat grease. Fender is f***ing useless. A literal ball and chain would be more helpful to Rodney.
Thanks for walking me home.
Thanks for carrying me up that hill.
Thanks for wasting my f***ing time with humorless bullshit.
You crazy nut boy.
Crazy about you.
Today I learned robot romance makes me gag. Fender does a Singing in the Rain spoof called Singing in the Oil, and it's offensive to Singing in the Rain, Gene Kelly, and people with good taste. Also, clearly the goal here was to replicate Aladdin's success and let Williams ramble and ad-lib ad nauseum. But the difference is all in the editing. That and having a good story to begin with, and this movie has no story. As they break into Bigweld's place, very easily mind you, I have to wonder why no one else has ever tried this before if he has been missing for so long. Another Rube Goldberg, but this one is mixed with, get this, an ocean of dominoes that the missing Bigweld surfs in on. The animators are like, I don't give a I'm going to copy-paste 1 million dominoes into this animation computer program and see what happens. This entire movie is sucking at the teat of Rube Goldberg. Also, if you took out all the Rube Goldberg in this movie, it would be roughly 29 minutes long. Well, Rodney and What's-Her-Bolts are clearly graduates of the Prometheus School of Running Away from Things. F***ing hell. 80% of the characters only exist to pad the runtime. God damn this movie's obsession with literal poop. Wow, Fender found his way into Attack of the Clones. Man, he falls apart more often than C-3PO. Hey, another Star Wars ripoff.
This is so wrong.
Gender shaming.
If we don't do something about Ratchet, no one will.
This is basically Bug's Life, but with robots. I mean, it's obviously a lot of movies, but with robots. But right now, it's particularly Bug's Life with robots.
Fighting never solved anything.
You must have missed the American Revolution, my dear, and Tyson v. Douglas.
Someone get a crane.
Show some respect for the woman who let your friends take a ride in her ass. Wait, no, yeah, that's right.
Know what I've done to get here? The lies I've told.
This sniveling goes on for way too much sometime. The Wonderbot, designed to wash dishes quickly, ends up being the literal ex machina our hero needs here in the climax. And I'm about to climax myself from annoyance. Driving against marble traffic. Thank God this entire city is a Sonic the Hedgehog level. Some unbelievable asinine bullshit.
It's a rare metal. It's called ephradium. It's yellow, tastes like chicken.
That's racist. I guess I'm just wondering why she needs to open this little window if the entire wall could just fall in. So Fender's sister does the Gandalf here and shows up at the last bit of the battle, but still in time to turn the tide for the good guys. Most of this whole final battle is a bunch of visual whatever. Fender wins his portion of this ridiculous robot battle by dancing to Britney Spears? No, just no. Dishwashing Wonderbot will now kick the villain's mother's butt, and I'm so f***ing tired of this movie I physically ache. Piper was left behind at Big Weld, and from there she raced back to her neighborhood to rally a small army of robots to fight for their right to spare parts. Yes, everyone pitches in for the big win, but without Piper, everyone else would be dead, and the movie does a terrible job of giving her the props she deserves.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Cliché. Evil mom falls into the fire, and evil son gets stripped of his upgrades, and that is all good stuff, needed stuff, but will someone please end this movie and put me out of my misery already?
I've brought enough parts to make 2 of you.
Which raises the question, what makes any of these robots unique? There are 2 boxes of herb here, and does that mean that if they put a new herb together, there are 2 herbs with 1 personality? Or 1 herb but multiple bodies? Also, if you can start off as a full-grown robot, why go through the trouble of the whole baby thing in the first place?
Is now my right-hand bot and my eventual successor.
All because he was the first to walk into an unlocked mansion where I used to live, and basically for no other reason. Capitalism!
Dad, you always wanted to be a musician. Now be one. For everyone to hear.
Well, what if he played piano or guitar? You just handed him a f***ed-up hybrid of a French horn and some alien bull trumpet, so you are asking the impossible is my point, dick.
Cut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level, will ya?
Alright, you can stop sending us concerned messages that CinemaSins stole our idea. CinemaSins is in fact our other channel where we sin, you guessed it, TV shows. Search for CinemaSins and find one of your favorite shows. Then, enjoy us sinning the shit out of it.
Good morning, Tim.
Now, you may bring the royal mouse to me.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Hi, excuse me. How do I get to Big Weld Industries?
You don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it?
Your head between your legs.
Huh?
I regret nothing!
Straight on through the chompers.
Oh, now they're arm wrestling.
Hey!
Of course, the enchantment under the sea dance.
A device, a doohickey, a thingamajig.
A dingle hopper.
Avengers, assemble!